Hey folks, how's it going? It's Friday, it's the end of the week. Hope you've all had a good week so far. 3 more levels, I'm done with July Pokemon Go Pass. Nice! How's it going, Jeffrey? Good to see you. Yeah, I very rarely get any of the tasks completed. Like, I accidentally complete most of them and go, oh, that was a thing that needed to be done. I may just go, well, I need that Pokemon, so I catch it. But having those tasks are really cool, because I remember it didn't used to have that. And it's very easy to give the game up, because, well, what's keeping me here? Like, just me walking around trying to find Pokemon? And now they go, well, go out, find the Pokemon, catch them, level up. So they've really, really evolved the game over the years. It's very enjoyable. I know when Scopely took over from Niantic, there's some kind of there's a lot of doubts that they would keep it a fun game and just try and make it into a microtransaction based thing. And yes, there are more microtransactions and there's more things to buy, more things to add on. But they've made the game don't want to say more addictive. They gave you more reason to come back to it, more reason to continue with it. And to a certain level, yes, it is a bit more addictive because you want to get to the next level. You want to complete that task. You want to sort of just level up that Pokemon. So, especially with all the events, you go, well, I need to log on because there's a Pikachu event or there's a certain rare Pokemon that will be spawning right now. So they're very good at doing that, and give them that kind of credit. But yeah, Scopely are a business that are used to kind of maximizing profits in mobile games. But it means they're good at what they do, I suppose. But I'm not really complaining. I still enjoy the game, even though they did sell some of the data from the game. I don't think anything personal was sold. It's kind of just useful kind of crowdsourced data gathering, which is smart, I suppose, in some ways. Right, we go switch over to Unity. Now I've decided just to throw MHL's rendering of the menu screen on just to see how it looks. It looks pretty cool. I don't know if I'll stick with it, but I've thrown it on there just to kind of see how this looks. But it certainly gets away from the AI generated image there. I was trying to find so I did generate some logos for the game. I can't remember where I put where I actually saved them. It's a shame because I wasn't going to use them as they were, but they were good inspiration bits for what the logo could look like. I don't know where I put them. Yeah, it could be anywhere by now. I sell the emotes. Hey Lisa, sell the best emotes. There they all are. Hope you both had a good week. We're watching Shrek. Nice. The first Shrek? Classic, the first Shrek. Yes, awesome. Yeah, I don't mind Shrek 2. We first watched Puss in Boots. I've not actually seen the Puss in Boots movie. But I wanted to. It was on my list. Yeah, I do like the Puss in Boots character. They mixed. It's good. Okay. I like generally like the character, but they made this very typical kind of musketeer type sort of confident battling warrior, but at the same time Puss in Boots is still a cat, and they kind of still give him a cat personality, so it's a very cool character. So they wanted to call the characters, yeah. It's not Shrek original, but it's still good, and it has cats. Nice. Yeah, anything with cats is good. Yeah, all the cats. There's some of the coolest emotes. Yeah, I will watch that. I've got a huge long list of movies. I keep asking Nix if we would like to pick a movie off the list, and typically we don't. And we never get around to watching anything. But maybe I convince Nix to watch Puss in Boots over the weekend. Could be a fun one to take damage. I was confused. I was just looking at my files, trying to find a some images, but I've downloaded so many free things. Well, not just free things, like discounted bundles for free things and discounted bundles. I typically tend to throw anything I'm working on into the same folder. So finding anything is a little bit hard to do. What I really should do is kind of organize these files a bit better, because some of it's like 2D pixel things I've downloaded, some of it's 3D stuff, some of it's just like audio and stuff I've added personally into there. Oh, it's in here. No, that's all stuff I've not even looked at yet. But I've got enough assets here that I've acquired from the internet to make a lot of different games, which is good. I can just throw stuff in as a tester. So I'm happy I've got this list, but it's too big. I can't find anything. So it's a shame, because I did like some of those images. Ooh, excuse me. No idea where that's gone. Okay, if I find them, I'll work it. Basically, what I want to do is just put a placeholder game logo at the top here. I could open Photoshop and put in there. Yo, is that MHL's artwork? It is. Hey, bot, how's it going? Yeah, I thought I'd see what it looks like on the background. Not too bad. So not sure if I'd stick with it. But I thought, well, we'll throw it in there and see what it looks like. But it certainly looks better than anything from the AI generation. It looks more kind of in keeping with the content. It's going good. How's it going with you? I really like it, to be honest. Yeah, I do like it. Like I like the shader that they've done. It's yeah, it's got that cool kind of illustrated look. But yeah, I'm doing good. It's been a good week. Sort of nothing too stressful this week. Lots of interesting stuff are happening, but nothing too stressful. So I'm happy about that. We get to relax for the week now, or weekend. Always like into a Friday. And thankfully nothing's booked in specifically this weekend. I can just go over the free flow and just enjoy the weekend. There's a few things I need to catch up on, but they're neither here or there. I was just listening to some AC/DC, Metallica, Nirvana, Guns N' Roses, and working on the demo. I got all of the demo content in just doing some bug fixes. Nice. Yeah, a good playlist really does motivate me as well to get through the work. Glad to hear you're doing good. Thank you. Yeah, I haven't been able to stick to a decent playlist recently. Sort of keep listening to different things, and none of it really kind of motivates me to get work done. Where would I have put any of this? What's on the agenda today? Today, I'll close that folder. I'm not getting with that. Today, I'm going to get the menu navigation up and running. I'm going to do a cheap kind of copy from the game. Just grab this control script. I need to change this because I'm not sure you can read down the bottom left here. Every time I open the project, it says sort of the current input manager, which is what I'm using, is deprecated. So I need to redo the control system, but now we can use what we have to get it all working, and I can just rebuild it afterwards. But I'm copied this over from the actual levels. Going to modify the script into a new script, so I can use the up down arrows as well as the controller input just to navigate through the buttons, and if any luck, activate the selected property of the button and see how that looks. Yeah, just kind of really leverage the Unity button object to its full effect. So I don't really know fully all the ins and outs of the UI. I just got to throw it on there. But we shall see what the limits are, see what we can do with it. So that's basically the main thing we're doing today. Just kind of UI, UX kind of stuff, which is mostly what I have left. The game mechanics are fine. There's nothing I would change majorly in the game mechanics. It's always kind of UI, UX. Just making sure it's a good experience for people. He's got a good idea of what you got to do. Yeah. So generally, I'm happy with how the game plays until obviously it goes into play testing again, and you folks can tell me if the experience needs adjusting. And eventually, I'd like to get back to this scene. So I've done nothing with this. This was me kind of playing around, trying to make sort of cut scenes with NPCs and all this. And it's not needed, but just for kind of for a learning experience. Like, I could copy this scene out and just make it into its own project and just work on how to have NPCs have conversations and stuff. It's probably a bit out of scope for what I'm doing, but this I'll eventually come back to. But it's hidden there in the files at the moment, but it's not important. Well, but I gotta quickly get some stuff, get comfortable, enjoy this stream, so I'll be back. Okie dokie bot, do your thing. Right, so first things first. Let's go to this keyboard controls script. Can we do a save as? Save all. I can do it here. Keyboard controls. So we go copy. Paste. Hey, nice. Probably not the best way of doing it, but let's go to the menu. Keyboard controls menu. Change the class there. Okay, so now we've got a new file. So we don't need those, we're not working on those. So I don't need those either. Do we even need those? I think I even needed those in the original. It appears not. No, let's go back to where's keyboard, the original keyboard controls. Let's bring that over here. Oh yeah, okay, yes, yeah. So rock launch. Grabs the rock launch from the rock. Okay, yeah, so yeah. Give rid of those, which then gives us errors. So we don't need that section. We don't need most of this, to be honest. I could have written this from scratch, but because the good thing about making this modular on the original is that I can delete entire sections knowing that they are self-contained. So movement X. So a little bit of this color still applies here. So Are we moving? Are we turning? We don't need these bits. Remove those bits. And we don't need cap down. So that grabs the move input. Eye controls, don't need to do that because that's handled elsewhere. This particular menu system. So really we need to move and I suppose we're doing it by the highlighted, we only need to move in the launch. I don't think we want to go as far as grabbing things like main menu option, projectile buttons and hints, so we could lose all those. We don't really need to release. There's no now this could be an issue. So we want a delay. So in this fixed update we'd have to have a delay as far as switching menu items. So it's not like flying through the menu, because for every frame it's going to move on to the next button. We don't want that, so we have to put some kind of delay into how it's moving. And back, got coffee and Godot open too. Nice. It's been a bit too warm recently for coffee, but I did have one earlier. I do enjoy a good cup of coffee. So what can we remove here? Get rid of these ones now. They're not relevant, they're just basically hold left, hold right. That's on-screen controls. So addicted to coffee, no matter the weather, temperature, you always find me with a cup of coffee. Nice. Yeah, usually, no, I never used to drink coffee at all until about, I would say, 4 or 5 years ago. I started appreciating coffee. It came down to always drinking bad coffee. Like every time I went to try coffee, it was just bad, cheap coffee. So is that, why does anyone drink this. But then sort of I tried sort of nice coffee, and you go, oh, okay, there is a better flavour here. And I noticed people drink cheaper coffee because they need the caffeine from the coffee, and they don't really mind the flavour. But I typically want the flavour first, and the caffeine is a bonus. But yeah, I enjoy coffee now. I try and limit myself to 1 cup a day. Although I sometimes have 2. If it's been a particularly taxing day, I'll probably need a second one a bit later. We don't need it is paused. So this bit just means to select wherever it is on, select it. I drink coffee. I drink whatever coffee, whatever coffee, and it doesn't even come down to the fact that's caffeine because it has no effect on me. Oh, yeah. Some people like that. Sort of like the caffeine sensitivity is not just not a thing. So this, if I clear that function, let's put a quick note to say perform click on selected button. Drank like 8 cups in one day and still went to bed. Wow. Went to bed early as well. Yeah, that's yeah, you really do not have much sensitivity to caffeine. There was a time I averaged 6 cups a day. That had no effect on me as well. And no effect on me, well, it did. Okay. Yeah, like I used to drink a lot of energy drink type stuff, and it got to the point where yeah, it didn't make me alert. It just made me less sleepy. If that makes sense. When I stopped drinking that much coffee, I experienced somewhat of withdrawal. Ooh, yeah, when I was having 2 cups a day, if I didn't have any caffeine or coffee at all, like the following day, I would get caffeine headaches. And I usually have to have a cup, and then go, oh, I'm okay now. But since I don't have have caffeine twice a day at the moment, it's not too bad at all. Okay, we're about down to the bits we need. Release direction button. Do I still have the release there? No, I've got the release. Be right back, dog. Walk time. Okie dokie. I'll see you shortly. By withdrawal, it was just tremors and something else which I can't remember. I never got the tremors. I never got like the full kind of drug withdrawal. But I would just get the headaches. Be right back, okie dokie. So see you and Jeffy shortly. Yeah, I never, thankfully I've never experienced full kind of withdrawal symptoms from anything. Oh, nothing that I would consume. No. Do we want to condense this? Are we moving? Are we turning? Because effectively all I want to know is... It's not the X, it's the... Is it the Y? I want to know if we're going up and down, basically. So I can make a new function. Go...
Epic!
Move up and down. For customers, the type of items a customer wants is divided into 4 brackets. Common, rare, epic, and fluke. Ooh, that's different. So is fluke kind of like more of like a random, or? The tremors won't be bad, but sometimes my hands would violently shake and then I would have to stop whatever I was doing. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's not pleasant. Fluke is like 2% chance and only has 2 items. Oh, very rare. Let's make a new function here based on what we have. So private void playtesting again. Wish me luck. Good luck, Rob. Hopefully it does what you're expecting. So what we can do here, rather than using move, we can turn that void into a boolean. And return now we can simplify this even more, because move input dot magnitude is not 0, but will return a boolean. So we just basically return that boolean. One night while I was coding, I just became super aware and realized how crazy it is. I had to know what to type, where to type it. I don't know, it's just weird. Oh. That's why if your brain just fully tuned in to what to the task at hand. They refer to that hyper focus, really, isn't it? So we just kind of just fully tuned in. It's been a while since I've had that kind of level. Like, there has been times when I've been at work and it's just a complete flow state of just everything spilling it out of my brain into the code scripts. It's been a while. Mainly because I can't get into that state of mind at the moment. Which is a bit frustrating. It's honestly one of those the best therapies you think, and honestly so amazing that you can do when you understand what you're doing, how to do, especially when you hit a flow state. Yeah, and yep, I get not being able to reach that flow state. Super frustrating. Yeah, it's been a while for me. I think what doesn't help at work. My job is not just to write code. My job is to fix people's logins, to check why the server is going slow, to manage email support requests, to create sort of email accounts and all this kind of stuff. So if I'm sitting there looking at some code, I might start getting the code together and go, okay, this is what I need to do, and then somebody gets locked out of their account. So, okay, we'll sort that. And I'll start looking at the screen again and go, okay, this is what I need to do. Start typing some stuff, and then there's a problem with the server. So, okay, we'll fix that. And so it eventually gets to the point where you kind of stop trying to find the flow state because you're just waiting for the next email to come in or the next phone call. So it certainly keeps the day busy, but it means I don't kind of hit that flow state anymore. So I am doing multiple different IT areas. So I'm first and second line support, as well as software development and kind of design, system design, and I suppose I can say server manager. Yeesh, that sucks. Yeah. Yeah, I'm doing a lot of different IT jobs. So we don't need moved. We don't know need are returning. So these streams on a Friday is basically my chance to sit here and kind of just code and chat. So I get to enjoy. At least it's hard to get into a flow state when you're streaming because you're talking, you're reading chat. You can't kind of just switch your mind off and tune into just the coding. But having the opportunity to talk through the code, even if there's nobody watching, helps me understand the code because I'm talking through it and not just looking at it. So there's a benefit to streaming coding. There's a benefit to sitting in a dark room listening to heavy music. But if you can hit the flow state, you don't really need that talking part. So if input Y is greater than 0, move up. Is less than 0, move down. We don't need are we turning anymore? I'd much rather talk through code with someone watching than listening to music and just coding. Yeah, I'm finding that more these days. Like, if I have a set plan, if you do all the, if you've ever done like a formal course on coding, you have to do so many things before you even write a line of code. So if you follow that pathway of design documentation, so determining what you want to achieve, what are the inputs, what are the outputs, then doing flow diagrams to go, how would this move from this process to this process to this process, what steps would be required, writing pseudocode, and then writing code, then you've effectively worked out everything before you start coding. And at that point, just music and yourself in the screen can translate all that documentation into a functional script. But I don't necessarily know what that is until I start coding, because I tend to work backwards on that. I'd rather just start coding and then work it out that way. I've always done that. In which case, talking it through certainly helps, because nobody has time to do design documentation these days. It's a nice kind of thing. Yeah, formal coding and sound fun. Oh no, there's no fun in that. I've done a apprenticeship level 3 in software engineering, and there's so much paperwork involved. Like even to the point where, okay, who are you coding for is even a factor. Like, if you're designing software for a specific group of people or a specific person or a specific job role, you need to spend a reasonable amount of time fact-finding and understanding. So what is the user experience going to be? What will they be expecting to be able to put into it? What are they expecting to take out of it? So how should it look? How should it function? Then you take that user experience and put that into a design document, which then goes into the kind of the process flowing and then you eventually start coding all this. So for the next game, I want to document my code more than writing document and code. Yeah, like it's all. I think generally these days you don't need a design document, but it would help at the very least to have a bullet point list. Like, okay, what is this game? Like, is it it's platformer? What do platformers need? They need a character who can jump. They need platforms. They need enemies. Does it have health? How do they lose health? And there's all these little tiny question answer kind of thing, and that's a design document. Like, I think most of that's in your head. You go, well, I want to make a platformer that is similar to Super Mario. Like, I kill the enemies by jumping on their heads. There's platforms, but they disappear. Platforms are just floating. So there's gravity, that's a standard type of gravity. And the point of it is to get from left to the right and collect items. You know, that's a design document. But I say most of that is in your head. You know that document. You don't need to write it down. You just make it. But then if you have a checklist, you can go, tick, I have made a character with a script. Tick, I've made a level that features platforms. Tick, I have coded and designed an enemy that reacts when they jump on. Hey, Cobbler, Panda. Hello, how's it going? I have to say, Cobbler, the folder colors have been very useful. I've installed it on my work laptop. Mainly in a folder for all my server remote connections by physical site. So each physical site has a different colored folder now, which is pretty cool. And you can just go, oh, red folder, that's that site. I'm not going to do that. I'd rather just lay out every class and then like main bridge documentation on how each class interacts with each other. Yeah. So that's still a document. Like, it's not a full design document, but it means you know what you're doing and you can kind of follow that before you start trying to make it. Oh, no, how's that going to work? Actually, no, that needs to be able to connect into here. Or I've missed that bit. I need this now. And as long as it's not too, you don't code yourself into a corner and you have to rebuild it all. You can just kind of go with that flow. It's going good. Hope you're doing well. I am doing well. Yeah, it's been a good week. Nice. I released an update. Ooh, okay. I shall check. No, it's been useful. Been useful just to have a color-coded folder structure. Like even in the pinned favorites on the left-hand side of Windows Explorer, like if that folder becomes a favorite, it's still colored, which I think is fantastic. So it's a very good app, very useful. But yeah, well, on the point of documentation, I will do some design documents for Moongate Mage. Like, I have my Trello board, and that Trello board is kind of a design document. Hang on, just realised my microphone was shadowing me there. Yeah, that Trello board is kind of a design document. It's got snippets of information. But it's more of a collection of ideas that will become a game. Rather than I need to have a document on the functional part of it, not just the feel of it, which is what I have so far. It seems like the emblem is not showing to some people, so I fixed it. Ah, nice. Small thing, but it does. It's something that's needed. Since the next game will be a system-heavy game, I do need to do some documentation. I'm going to do some design document, but more of the stuff that I need to standardize across the game. Good idea. Because again, that's a good reason for a design document. Variable names, item names, plate names, collision names. Yeah. So having that document means you're not going to duplicate stuff. You know the standard. You're setting yourself as standards to, as you say, standardizing or to, and that's useful in itself. But anything you can determine before you start going as to how it needs to be structured certainly is going to help. Because this entirety of this game that I've worked on stream has had no documentation, no real forethought. I've literally just opened up the project on the stream and went, this needs this, and then try and make it. And it's only then I go, if I thought about that before I did this, then I'll do that differently to allow this to work better. But the whole point of this project is not to create a well-structured game. It's to me to throw random ideas at it and see what sticks, and to understand, in this case, that how do you navigate a menu, for instance. I've never would have thought about navigating a menu, but now I do. And I know for next time that I need to be able to navigate a menu, because it's simple and I forgot about it. Because for Combinator, I already am unsure about how I named the items, because I also have a bunch of redundant code and it's just all bullshit spaghetti monster. Yeah, easily done. Especially if you change your mind on something partway through. Like for some of my stuff at work, if you look at the code, like we started the project calling certain things certain names, and then we, rather than doing like the user experience thing I mentioned earlier, like talking to the people that will use it, and then taking that information and moving into a design document and into a piece of software, we do a little bit of talking to the end user, do a very quick design document, start making it, and then feed back to the user, who then decides all the detail that we didn't ask them, so then for us to then go back and have to redo the design documents. Effectively, we don't actually do a document, we just go throw that design document out because they've just given us a completely different view on something, change the names of everything, and that variable no longer is relevant but has a history attached, or that field name in the table no longer is relevant or might be redundant now. It might be a field that would never get used. So we have a lot of redundant stuff in what we make because of the we don't follow that for the terminology I use, the that sort of systematic coding practice. Yeah, we should really do that. And I would personally, if I was heading up a project, I would follow that standardized process. I mean, what do they even call it? Formal, that's the word, formal. Yeah, if I followed the formal coding practices for developing software, then there would be less kind of redundant code and stuff. Hey MHL, how's it going? Good to see you. I liked your little bit of music you posted in the art room. That's very cool. And hope you don't mind for the time being, at least. trying out your rendering of the background on the main menu. I thought, oh, let's see how this looks. Oh yeah, I can just have that. Oh, thank you. That's very kind of you. It's far better than what I had before. That's the AI generated thing. Found a small game to make. Ooh, that's cool as well. Any improvements I can try my best. Oh, that's fine, Michelle. Thank you. Like, yeah, if something needs happening to that, I'll let you know. But that's already like 100 times better than what I had. Yeah, sure, that was crazy. Special available name nightmare. Yeah. Like it's like we started like an entire project. We had to give it a working title because it needs to be called something. But we didn't have that conversation. We didn't sit down and go, well, what would you like this to be called? And kind of do like a I suppose it's almost like a marketing discussion. Like, what would you like to sit down and open up? What is this going to be? What meaning does this have to you? So we came up with an idea because we didn't have the conversation, and then they told us afterwards, this is what a better name should be for it. So okay, it's like everything written in the background has the working title. Everything on the UI has a different title. Might actually crash out Wi-Fi so bad. Oh no, boss. Open world style platformer, simplistic GP. I'm going to focus more on art, feel, and wheel building. Oh, nice. Yeah, really kind of put the art styles, your artistic skills to a test there. The only real gimmick is to swapping gravity sometimes, but otherwise just a slowish, difficult platform about finding gems. I like it. I like platformers with gems. I don't know, it's nostalgia for me. Collecting gems in a game. Bought 7 more CDs, so got 18 incoming at the moment. Wow. Like, and people are trying to say the CD is dead. It really isn't. But I still get advertisements online of like indie bands going, "Hi, we don't have a label, but we would like to give you our CD." And yeah, it's more rewarding for a band to say, "We have so many people with our CD in their hands." 3 Whitechapel and 4 Merciful Fate in this order. Ooh. Gameplay, GP's gameplay. Cool. Okay. Yeah, some abbreviations. I remember. Not all of them. Simplistic gameplay. But yeah, that's instantly that grabs me by the nostalgia and Michelle. That I used to love that. It's simple. Like, games have tried to become very complicated these days. Like, let's throw this gimmick with this gimmick and this mechanic and go boom, craziness coming at you from all sides. And those games have their place, but they burn out very quickly. But how many times I have opened Super Mario, going back to that example, I've just opened that, played a couple of levels, closed it, and I've been happy. I've probably only completed Mario once in my life, but I've played it many times. I'm a sucker for difficult, complicated games. Not overly complicated, of course. Yeah. Like, one game that got my attention recently that I've been tempted to buy, but I haven't, is Raccoon. So the combination of the words raccoon and coin. Because Raccoon takes, I don't know how popular they are around other countries, but certainly UK, we have these machines where you put copper coins in, and they kind of bounce around, and then drop onto a moving platform that goes like this. and there's lots of coins there, and then the more coins you put in, if you can get it to push some of those coins off this moving platform onto the platform below, and then it pushes more coins off. Coin is a game based on those old machines, but with lots of crazy power-ups and explosions and special coins and all this. And it looks very addictive. It's a very crazy kind of game with everything going on. And yeah, once you run out of coins, you run out of coins and you have to start again. Sounds very interesting. Yeah, it's fairly simple, but at the same time, there's a lot of extra mechanics to boost your score. And the whole point of the game is to get a higher score, and then you play again and see if you can get a better score. There might have been one on a couple of demos, but really haven't finished much. I don't think I've finished the game yet. Oh. Yeah, I've finished quite a few games. Again, I don't know how old some of you are, and I don't need to know, but because I came from the time with game cartridges, games are very scarce, so you kind of just kept playing and playing until you finished the game. So I've still had that mentality that I must finish games. Yes, but I have probably finished 10% of the games I own. So that's mainly like Xbox games, PlayStation games, a few Steam games, like the Lego games. I've tried to make a point of finishing Lego games on Steam while streaming. I've done a few of those, but it takes a long time. I find streaming a game makes me finish it more likely to finish it. 31. So how many games you've finished? No, how many CDs you have? Oh, so you asked your age. Oh, yes, you're 31. I did actually notice. I was looking at your server yesterday, actually, Jeffrey, in the introduce yourself room. Thousands, yeah. Introduce you and sort of. I realised how long I've been in your server for, because I've introduced myself as several years younger. You know, wow, yeah, I really did join your server that many years ago. Finished like 75, I think. Oh, nice, MHL. Not 31. Damn, cartridge would be so cool to experience. Yeah, like if you really want to go for this like the retro feel, like people are selling their old consoles. Like I've seen on Facebook Marketplace, the very least, people selling Sega Mega Drives, Nintendo Entertainment Systems, Super Nintendos, Game Boys. Like even the Game Boy, like slotting the little cartridge in the back and just playing it. Like on the Nintendo Switch now, you just kind of go quit, click across to another game, start it. On a computer, you just quit the game, scroll, click. But to change a game on the old game game consoles, you have to physically pull a cartridge out of it and then push another one back in. So there is an experience with that. We've known each other for 4.5 years now, if I must base it on me joining your server. Did join your server day one of meeting you. Ah. Yeah, it's been some time, because I think, yeah, because I wasn't streaming as much as I used to, because I was streaming. The most I've ever streamed was during 2020, because there wasn't much else you can do during that year. And then I've dialed it back to 3 days a week. So I think I already dialed it back by the time I met you. 2020, what year that was? Yeah. Yes, Monday Lego, Wednesday Spider-Man, Friday DJ. I'm pretty sure that's what it still says in my Discord, doesn't it? Yeah, that was a so peaceful and boring. Yes, I did not cope well with 2020, hence streaming pretty much every day. I think I only had two days I didn't stream per week, because it's like, what else am I gonna do? I'll sit here and stream. Did a lot of walking. Walking was nice. Yeah, I like that streaming schedule though, Jeffrey. The Lego, Monday Lego, Wednesday Spider-Man, Friday DJ. Like, I still haven't finished the Batman Arkham series, because I was playing through the Batman Arkham Asylum, then Arkham City, Origins, and then I went, oh, let's do Spider-Man, and then I'll go back to Batman Arkham, and I never did. I got one more Arkham game I need to stream at some point, but it was the latest one, and I wasn't sure about my graphics card at the time. Wish 2020 happened this year. I was so young back then. Yeah, a lot of people, kind of younger people, I suppose, wouldn't have really experienced it in that way. But it was something different, something that can't be recreated, thankfully. Hundreds of Eevee candies, by the way. I got enough for every version of Eevee Evolution. Nice. I love the Evolutions. That's some of my favourite Evolution. Wait, who's DJing? Nice says lockdown would have been right now. I don't want to go through that again. It was really messes my life up, man. Yeah. Yeah, like, yeah, lockdown kind of messed with me mentally. I think it did mess my life up generally, because I'm nowhere near as healthy as I was prior to that. So I picked up a lot of unhealthy habits that I haven't been able to get rid of in the last 6 years. When I learn a great recipe I've just made. Ooh, what you made? I do have a recipe room if you want to share anything. Do I have a recipe room? Yes, I do have recipes in there in Discord as well. Welcome to share in there. So far I got Vaporeon, Jolteon, Flareon, Leafeon and Glaceon. So 3 left, but I need to do some challenges to be allowed to evolve those. Awesome. Oof, unhealthy habits, truly unhealthy. Yeah, you're telling me. Yeah, I'm playing the latest Pokemon Legends ZA on Nintendo Switch. I've started collecting the evolutions. I've started with Umbreon and Espeon, because they take a little bit more effort in the game. Whereas everything else, you just buy a stone and evolve them via radiation. As the theory is. Damn, it would also fuck up the geopolitical atmosphere and screw everyone over. Yeah, that we would not cope. We would not cope with. Like, the UK would be done for. Like, we barely survived it last time. We certainly not survive it now. Take 2 free eggs, mix them with some spices in a bowl, pour into a pan, place slice of lunch meat on top and fry until able to be flipped without breaking. After fully cooked, butter a tortilla, transfer the egg whisk thing into a tortilla, roll it up like a cinnamon roll, then enjoy. Ooh, that does sound nice. I've seen something similar with a was it a burger? I saw something with meat and egg, and was it just a wrap? Now, I've seen similar things where it's all, yeah, there's cooking things and then kind of a flip and a flap and roll, and sort of all these fun things you can do to actually give yourself a nice, quick, easy meal. But I might have to give that a go. MHL doesn't just cook with Blender. Also, food, what's next? Cooks with Game Dev 2. They're very highly skilled, MHL. Haven't had it in a while, but one other recipe I liked was taking Mexican-style street corn sauce from some general store and mixing it with white rice and beef. So good, so quick, so easy. Ooh. Yeah, that does sound great as well, actually. But yeah, if you have any delicious recipes anyone wants to share, there is a recipes room in my Discord. I typically, if I'm bored, I tend to look at Pinterest. Pinterest ends up having a lot of recipes for me to look at. So anything I like, I tend to grab, and I post in that recipes room. Most of them, I try to go for something that's fairly healthy. I don't try to find anything too unhealthy. But it's a good reminder of all the things that I plan to make at one stage, but I haven't actually done. I love anything with butter beans. I've got quite a few butter bean recipes here because there's something about the texture of butter beans. I feel like you're actually eating something and not something that disintegrates. Just make sure all of you can actually post in here. I've been streaming for over an hour. Need to actually make some kind of achievement. Nobody panic! My cat Shadow is officially sitting on my lap. Ooh! You have been chosen. It's always so nice to have, be chosen by the cat. I've got to the stage when I go around to my partner's place. Their cat, one of their cats, is insistent that they sit on my lap. So much so that I can be having my hand here and the cat's face is here, and I'm like, "Can you just give me just five minutes? Just, I promise, just five minutes. Just give me 5 minutes. Just no, I've just literally five. Okay, whatever." I'm back. The emote selling will be on pause. Continue Shrek now. Okie dokie. Cute, yeah, cute indeed. I'm assuming with a name like Shadow. Is Shadow like a dark or black cat? Black cat's some of the coolest. But yeah, my partner's cat is called Salem, kind of partially named for Sabrina the Teenage Witch. There's a talking cat called Salem. But yeah, he has no concept of personal space. Like, he has no idea. Like, he would literally have his face up in my face and then go, "Well, can you just move back slightly? I don't need to smell your breath. It's good. We're good." Shadow looks like a cyborg, white and grey. Ooh, that's pretty cool. Salem reminds me of Salem Texperts. Salem Texperts? I'm not too familiar with that. Salem personal space harding, yeah, exactly. Next time I'm sat over there, I'll take a photo. It's very hard to take a photo of a cat, which in itself is probably closer to you than you can even hold your camera. But the other two cats are a bit more, they're a little bit more aware of personal space. Well, one of them is very aware of personal space. In fact, he insists that he has his personal space. And the other one we feel is struggles mentally. I think if his brain was a computer, it would be underclocked. So he kind of doesn't know what he's doing half the time. Salem Texperts is a YouTube channel. The guy is known by greatest technician who's ever lived. Just repairs computers, but now just plays with them. Oh yeah, if you know what I mean. Okay. Yeah, I don't think I've actually come across that. Underclock Salem, yeah. All cats do to some. Yeah. I think some cats generally seem to be missing something mentally, but this one's missing the rest of it. Yeah, I think the poor thing's at a disadvantage. It's adorable, very loving, but there's certainly a chasm behind those eyes. Shadow's face is grey, and like his left eye to the left part of his mouth is all white. Looks like actually it's cyborg. Oh, that's awesome. Missing the rest of it, poor cat. Yeah. Yeah, like we have a theory that it was possibly inbred. We don't know. A poor car. Yeah, like we weren't. My partner wasn't their first owner, so we don't know his full kind of origins, but I suspect there's a breeding issue. Or he might just be unlucky. Wait, Hugs, act like you're a genie for a second. I'm about to do my first wish. What? Okay. I am a genie. I grant you 3 wishes. Terms and conditions apply. Ask your doctor before taking any action. I think I need to have the buttons. My hand is a bit bigger than average size, and Shadow's head is almost as big as my hand. Oh wow, that's a big head cat. Like my cat, Damien, is a larger cat. Also, that's an amazing genie impression. Well, not really an impression if you're a genie. Yeah. First wish, I wish you to change the word profan. Second wish is tell me what this says. Ah. That sounds like a. That sounds like that's a trap into admission. The feeling there might be something along the line because profan. The only profan I know is ibuprofen. Very clever. I know a few streamers that would have read that out. Right, I'm going to save that. Let's go back to the editor. As Hogan to finish your legal rep, I officially sue HJ for not granting MHR's wishes. Hang on a minute, I thought you were supposed to be my legal rep. How can you sue me? Wait, as your legal rep, was I supposed to be on the horse? Yes. Why are you not on my side? That's a very poor legal rep if you're the one suing me. Doesn't matter, I'm going to pay for this. It's where the opposition pays you more than I am. Doesn't matter, I'm not paying for this. I paid enough for this, yeah. I don't pay you at all. And Michelle definitely did not bribe me. Yeah, sounds like it. What's be the best thing to? Is it the main menu? There's a bit of canvas. I need all of these, isn't it? No, it's not against genie rules to ask the genie not to abide by the genie rules. Interesting. Yeah, I'll give you some more soup for saying that, bot. Yeah, I've heard quite a few logical arguments around the genie rule sets. I like the one, if I can remember it. There's one to do with integer overflows. So kind of like a programming joke built into genie rules. MHL, I will only help you if you get my marshmallow soup from a certain soup scammer. Yes. Integer overflows and genie rules. I think the wishes were I wish for my number of wishes to be subtracted after the wish is granted, and the second wish is I wish for this wish to be granted after my third wish. Was it basically you get the genie to a point where you have 0 wishes, and then the genie takes -1 wish from your list number of wishes, which overflows. Assuming for a purely positive integer. Do you have my storyline put in Discord? I did, Michelle. That sounds a very cool storyline. I think if you wish for the maximum 64-bit int size amount of money, that might cause an overflow too. True. I think typically genies have a genie has a no wish for extra wishes rule. Typically, like you can't wish for more wishes. So I think one of the rules in this is to wish for 0 wishes, and to wish for the number of wishes to be taken off you after your wish is granted. So you end up wishing for no wishes, and then the number of wishes from you gets minused off after the wish, which gives you -1 wishes, which technically in an integer overflow, positive integer overflow, would give you 1,600,000 thereabouts. Can't remember what the integer maximum is. The fact that we are thinking about how to buffer overflow attack on the genie. Yeah. This assumes that a genie works on a computer system. But yeah. Typical programmer thinking. How can you buffer overflow on a genie if they were to be held by standard computer coding rules? It'd be better if there's a genie from before 8-bit ints existed. True, yes. "99 bugs in the code, 99 bugs in the code, take one down, fix it around, 7,000 bugs in the code." Yeah, I love that one as well. So take one down, fix it. I think the one I was take one down, patch it around. Yeah, I love that one. Yeah, for every bug you fix, there's always one. That's the programming way, yeah. You're powering up. Oh yeah, don't need any of those booleans. But what I will do is borrow from the Or from there, throw in here. It's just me, or do you always experience imposter syndrome when talking about your coding abilities too? Yeah, I get that, bot. Like, I even kind of even unbelievable situations when I look at my old coding. Because I look at something I've made, which is, then I go, well, that's impressive. Like, how did I even write that? How, like, I'm not that good. How did I manage to write all this? But then it's kind of overtaken by trying to explain coding stuff and stuff I've made to people, and sort of their eyes kind of switch off and start glazing over. I find that even more amusing than imposter syndrome. So I go, okay, this person clearly does not understand what I'm saying, but they're fully trusting of it. Is it just me, or we have all intense fear of parts of our life we've forgotten? Yeah, that's a real one as well, Micho. I think human memory is not infallible. There's probably stuff that's just not there anymore. But yeah, I wouldn't say intense fear. But I do sometimes wonder what I don't remember, if that makes sense. Hate it all the time. Yeah, I don't get imposter syndrome as much anymore. Like, I've kind of sort of grown a level of arrogance now. Like, well, if I am an imposter, screw it, kind of thing. Like, clearly I'm good enough for people to believe me. So even if I'm not as good as people think I am, then that's on them. I got KO'd one time, and I don't remember a solid 15 minutes of it, and I'm terrified of that. Oh, that's understandable, Michelle. Something about having forgotten scares me. Yeah, I've never blacked out or knowingly lost memory. But I can imagine that being scary, like, especially if someone told you and go, well, this is what you're missing from your memory. Because you don't know what you don't know. Does that really make sense? Yeah, I don't want to experience that now. But I can understand your fear. I've never experienced that, but I can understand why you would have that fear. And it doesn't feel like it would be a good thing to experience. Like, it's scary enough in some ways that like mundane stuff you don't tend to remember. Like, the thing that annoys me is locking doors. I can never remember locking doors, but I end up locking a door, and I just don't remember locking doors. Small thing, not a major thing in my life, but I can never remember locking a door. Doesn't matter what I do, it just doesn't sit. It's just me, or you'll also experience that moment of ultimate self-awareness, and you just think about how crazy life itself is, and the fact you exist and you're able to think in our free will. Yeah, sometimes, but yeah, it's you really kind of think deeply into it. The fact we exist and exist individually as people is quite an amazing thing. and no one fully truly understands. Like, even scientists are still trying to work out exactly how things function. I saw a documentary on split brains and thinking of doing things and where that comes from in your brain. Unsettling and amazing, yeah. But the if you're interested in like brain and sort of cognitive kind of stuff, yeah, look into like I think was it epilepsy? At one stage they kind of split people's brains in half if they were having epileptic fits. So basically just cut down the middle and split the brain into two. And it stopped people having epileptic fits, but it also stopped a lot of other things. But they found out a lot of interesting information about doing that, and how sort of one part of the brain does things without the other part of the brain knowing, which is quite scary to think. But because both of our parts of our brain are connected, typically the one half knows what the other half's doing. Sometimes I wonder whether religions are just created to give the human mind peace and to cope with the fact that they don't know or understand life. I think so, but I fully agree with that. I think it's an explanation to settle the mind. It's even believed that religions are part of human evolution. Because in order to create a religion, you have to have evolved to a certain mental state to the point where you have the curiosity and some understanding, but not the full understanding. So you create an external explanation for your experiences. Not to say that some religion doesn't help people, it certainly does. But I certainly think that seems to explain its role in evolution. It's mainly that small. It wasn't like a full documentary, but it was. I like to watch a lot of science videos on YouTube, and some of them like 10-15 minutes long. But it was it 42? Let's do a quick search for it. Uh, 42. Yeah, it's the one. Well, it's 25 minutes. If I copy that, I'll post it into the chat. But I found this quite interesting. I like 42 amazing YouTube. Oh, you know 42. And I'd rather not question religions. I forgot how to spell because the fear taught me as a child. 42 amazing. Yeah, like the video I picked up was this one. But yeah, say so. Religions help a lot of people. They serve a purpose. They also cause a lot of problems as well, but that's more the people than the religion itself. People's interpretations. Ultimately, people are simultaneously good and bad. It's all depending how they inflict it. In general chat, yeah. Yeah, so that's into the Discord there, so it's let's pick up. But yeah, if you, as far as kind of how the brain works, it's very interesting. And 42 does a lot of cool mini documentary kind of things like that. I'm going to do it this way for now. It's not the best way. Suppose if they are buttons, or are they menus? What are these things? They are. So it's really this that I want. It's new game, continue, options, quit, not the rest of that. Okay, let's change the code. So new game, continue, options, quit. And those are buttons, aren't they? Yes. Yes. Buttons, yes. New game, continue, options. Hey, Demute. Hi, how's it going? Good to see you. Hope you're having a good Friday. Welcome in. Let's do serialized fields. Keep them private. Options definitely needs to be one. Level select. No, level select is not one. I'm gonna work on the tally form for the closed demo. Close Godot because it made my PC a bit slow. That's fair enough. Private. No, we'll do that. We'll change its name. So opening the auto completion sometimes a little bit wrong. So new game, continue, options, quit. So we make this one quit. So we continue. Continue. And we'll put in the put the buttons in there. It's a little bit, I don't like this joining up thing, but we'll work it this way for now. And then I'll have to rework it. Generally, there's a lot of bad design in this. I'm still trying to retroactively fix. But for now, we'll do it this way. So I have all the buttons in here. So now I have the buttons. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 4 buttons. I need to be able to move between them now. I'm new into game development. I am 18. I have made Flappy Bird Clone. I own 2D fighting game, FPS 3D. Is there So I am from India. I don't know how to get a job. Getting a job, even getting a job in the UK, is hard. I don't know. Are you kind of still based in India or in the UK? But typically, yeah, doing what you're doing, making games, having a portfolio. So taking that portfolio of games to a game developer, go, well, I would like to work for you. I have made the following games. And looking for open positions. I'm very fortunate where I live. There's many game studios. None of them are looking for somebody like me though. It's very rare a job comes up. But start off small. Find somewhere that is looking for maybe an artist or a writer or something that's a small section, and then you can kind of expand out. Or even start your own game studio. Just continue making games. They're not going to be the biggest games on the market, but if you end up working with other people, you can certainly expand that out. So do internships if there's an internship available. If there's someone that's willing to help you with that. So it's typically you have to start off low level. Like even if you're a game tester or let's say an intern, just finding a foot into it. Say, hey, I have worked for this game studio on this level. I understand how the business works. I would like to move into a role doing this. I have experience writing code in these languages. These are the games I've made. Here's an example of what work I can do. And that's typically how you get in there. Because I don't work in the game industry. I have friends that do, and even they say, like, you're my friend. Even I cannot get you a job. I can recommend if you show me like a long list of games you made. I can take that to my boss and go, my friend has made all these games. Is there any work for him? But it's hard. But internship would be a good entry level. It was really cool to see a new game dev. Yeah, I'm very happy that I've attracted many game devs to this channel. I'm doing this because I want to make a game. So this is me trying to make a game. Hopefully, people recognize it. People play it. I'm not expecting to make any money, but if someone plays this eventually, cool. All this effort, not only has it taught me how to make a game, but it's given people entertainment. It means someone can enjoy my work, which is effectively what I want to do at the end of the day. What engine do you use? Yeah, what kind of engines do you specialize in? Like, my knowledge of engines is very narrow. I've specialized in Unity because it's mostly familiar with me. Plus the coding environment is very familiar. I am so messed up right now. I have a BTEC mechanical student, but I don't have any interest in it, and I already wasted 2 years. I want to move to Japan. Ooh, using Unity, nice. There's a lot more work in Unity. I found certainly where I live, most of the game studios are using Unity. So my job opportunities are better in this particular area. I'm not saying that's for everybody. With Japan's quite a big move. I suppose there's a lot more tech companies in Japan, so you might have more options there, but I don't know what that's like moving out. I have friends that have moved there, and they say it's not easy to get going, but once you're settled, then it's quite a nice life. But BTEC mechanical, That's pretty cool though. And it's don't need to feel you've wasted those 2 years. Like, you would have learnt something out of that. Even if you don't use that knowledge, your experience of that field and how to work in that field will be useful to you. Not in its current form, but you understand more than you did before doing that BTEC. And I find a lot of these, a lot of BTECs aren't used for themselves. I did a BTEC in computer studies, and I don't use anything really from that BTEC. No, like, there's a few things I still remember from the BTEC which is useful, but it didn't get me my jobs. I got the jobs because I'm good at what I do, and people go, well, okay, we'll take you on. But my BTEC didn't help me. Like, the contents that didn't. Learning the BTEC would have helped me understand things, but the content of the BTEC didn't really help me. In fact, I found the BTEC very easy, but it was good. It was a good experience. And I suppose I could consider I wasted 2 years of my life on that BTEC, not to really have anything useful from it. But I did gain something from it. So overall, it wasn't a great loss. Financially, that was a bit of a loss, but I can use of course, I can use an array of buttons. Why am I doing this? We don't need to have all the buttons, we just need an array. Serialized field. We'll just put the buttons into the array. That's a better solution. I wasted 2 years because what they teach you is outdated course, and all the stuff is mostly corrupted because it's government at uni. Yeah, like, I found that myself. Like, what they were teaching me wasn't relevant. Like, as soon as I went to get a job, it's like, oh, like, this is not really relevant anymore. Like, things have changed. But as I say, the content of the BTEC is not what's important. You gaining the understanding is what's important. Your brain has moved to the point where it can process this type of information now. Like, the information is irrelevant because you say it's outdated, but you now are able to process that type of information, and not just that type of information, but generally anything more technical. You can apply the things you've learnt to learning other stuff, which is what I found. Like, it was mostly kind of, yeah, nothing particularly useful. Like, my computer studies BTEC, it was like, how do you calculate numbers in a spreadsheet? I go, well, that's pretty simple. Like, it's not really relevant, but learning my way around Microsoft Excel, for instance, I did so many greater things in Excel that course could ever do. But it kind of gave me some understanding, and I did the rest myself. 4 items. I learnt more outside of the classroom because they gave me the first step. Effectively, they gave me the door and I walked through it, with that cheesy enough kind of analogy. And I think that's most education. Like, most education itself isn't that useful, but it gives you the tools to actually learn more stuff. So I can cycle around this array now. That's what I wanted to do, what we're looking at time, it won't be on for too much longer. I usually only stream for about 2 hours. So we shall see if I can get it to cycle around these buttons. So we've got selected button index starts at 0. Moving up means selected button minus minus, selected button plus plus. Let's get rid of that space there. There's still so much stuff I need to learn. Like, there's still so much stuff I want to learn. But I know I can learn it. All I need is time. Like, I didn't know anything about Unity. Nobody taught me anything about Unity. Watched a couple of videos and I understood it. And now I'm trying to make a game. We want to have the means to select the next button. So private clamp the selected button and stay within the bounds. Clamp the selected button index, stay within the bounds of the buttons array. Button selected index, math.clamp selected button index 0 button sort length minus 1. Clamps the given value between a range defined by the given minimum integer, maximum integer values. Returns the given value if it's within the min-max. I can see that being a useful line. Maybe not in this particular instance. It stops it from going up. Say if we go selected button index plus plus and it goes greater than 3, because this array is 0, 1, 2 and 3. If that goes to 4, this returns 3. Now, it depends how we want the menu to work. Do we want the menu to go down and then back to the top? Or it goes down and stays at the bottom? In which case, clamp would work actually. Because it means that when you get to the top, it stays at the top. And if you get to the bottom, it stays at the bottom. So okay, I could see clamp working in this instance. Yeah, it's only if you want it, once it gets to the top, to jump to the bottom. Or when you get to the bottom, jump to the top. So that's okay. I don't understand the need for the for loop though, because the index, the selected button index would just go into there. So surely it would just be buttons bracket selected button index close bracket dot select. We wouldn't need to cycle the buttons because nothing happens outside of the if statement. If I'm reading that correctly at least. So we only really need to have 2 lines here. Don't need a for loop. And I'll take it out the update. We don't need an update going there. What we do need is a private void set selection. we move up, move down. Right, this might break it, it might not. We'll find out. We'll give this a test and then we'll wrap the stream up, I think. So I don't even know if this will work. Right, we've saved it. Let's run. Oh, it did. There we go, look at that. So it selects, highlights new game, continue, but not option or, well, it kind of selects them, but the colouring is not fully. Turn that down. Probably need a lesser intrusive kind of colour, just like a slight shading, I'd say. But that works to a certain extent. I don't know why options and quit doesn't pick up. You got the buttons there. Have a look. Ah, because I've not actually. I selected the wrong one. It should be selected colour. That's red. And options, they do the same. Selected colour is red for that. Options. Continue. They have a grey. They do. They have grey. Let's put grey. Grey for disabled is always a nice, understandable colour. People generally expect grey to mean disabled. Like it's non-operational. Let's save that again. Give that another run. There we go. I need to stop it from going through the button so quickly, so it needs to be like a delay. Because at the moment that's a little bit too sensitive. So that's fine there. I suppose we could do release selection button afterwards. Release direction button. Would that help? Probably not. Might add a slight stutter into it. Yeah, not much really. As long as the button is held, it's producing a value. Okay. So we need to put in a delay. So we do have a counter. Quite happy with my progress. Nice, MHL. What have you achieved? What's your main thing you reckon you've achieved today? Or in general? Private int, I suppose. Selection delay. Movement is done, art is a solid style, and reconstructing the level from my previous non-Unity attempt is solid. Nice. Awesome stuff. Oof. There's a float. Can I send a screenshot of the form so you can rate how good the questions are in the Discord? I would have to exit stream and rejoin. Yeah. Go ahead and send them a note, and I'll let you know. I'll let you know what it looks like. Ten might be a bit much, but let's give this a try. Maybe 10's not long enough. Let's up this to 15? 20. Let's go 20. We can always put it down to 15. Still have an unopened gift. Did I not accept the gift? Or you sent me another gift? Ah, it's past midnight there, of course. Yeah, I can't send anything for another hour. I found that last time when you sent me something, I can't send you something because it's you hit midnight before I do. Okay, I think I know what's going on. So it changes from up to down. Why can't you do stuff at midnight? So the game Pokemon Go resets at midnight. So because it's not midnight for me, I can't do anything yet until it resets. Ah, okay, yeah. As soon as it's midnight, I can send more gifts. Yeah, I see you posting Discord bot. I'll have a read through that after the stream. How do we get around this then? So if someone's holding down a key, whether it's up or down, it increments this number. If they switch from up to down, admittedly it's probably not going to happen, but if they switch from up to down, immediately it still increments the number and then it will move. But if they switch, I want it to start the timer again, really. I'm back. I did send them. Yes, I saw. Thank you for those. I'll have a look after the stream and give you some feedback. Shadow has also returned to my lap. Awesome. There's a good kitty. Still selling emotes. All those awesome emotes. So the delay stops it from going into here. Subscammer, my arch nemesis. How much of an issue is it going to be? As long as you're holding a key down, it will then register what the result is afterwards. But I still got to know it's going to be an issue if I don't know. It feels like it's more effort than it's worth to manage people that are just playing around in the main menu. So ultimately, I don't know why it has that slight stutter there. Yeah, it's still. So that jumped to the second one. I keep pushing down. Yeah, something's not quite right with that calculation. Go and sleep now. Okay, Lisa, thank you for dropping in. Have a great rest of your stream and good night. Good night. Have a good rest. I'll be wrapping up the stream because I've hit a wall now anyway. But I'll be back on Monday. We'll switch over to the main camera and we'll wrap up here anyway because it requires more mental thinking power than I currently have.
Epic.
Stream was epic as always. Thank you. But yeah, I'm going to wrap that up there. We've been streaming for nearly 2.5 hours. But yeah, next time I will work out why it's skipping buttons. And we'll sort that, and then we'll move on to the UI in the actual levels. And that's the UI navigation sorted then. Yeah, And so it's just these little bits, and I'll release a demo for you guys to give me full feedback on, and we'll move on from there. Bye. Thank you, MHL. Thank you all for being here. Thank you, Jeffrey, Lisa, MHL, Bot, Cobbler, and Demut. I do appreciate you all being here. Don't give up on what you're working on. Keep going. Sometimes it just feels can feel more of a drag than it needs to be sometimes, but keep on working on your projects. You're all doing awesome stuff. Excited to see what you come up with. I'm going to get some rest now. Hope you enjoy your weekend. Enjoy the rest of your Friday night. And I will be back on Monday doing some Blender to Unity integration stuff. Trying to get that to work in that weird exploding golem thing. But until then, have a good night. See you Monday. Night all.